What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Trade Show. Now, today's episode, I'm coming to you live from the escape room right here in Downtown Salisbury, and I'm with the owner of the escape room, Mr. Andy Kitzrow. And Andy is going to sit down with us today, and he's going to tell us all about this amazing concept that he's brought to Salisbury and has been operating for the past 5 years?
Yeah, almost 6 in June.
Almost 6 years. All right, awesome. So look, Andy, are you down with sitting down and talking to our audience
let's
today?
do that. Looking forward to it.
We're going to sit down and we'll see you guys right back here in a few seconds. All right, so Andy, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and taking this time to talk to us. Now look, I have heard about you for a long time. We've got mutual friends. I'm just now really meeting you for the first time. But for the people out there who don't know you, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do now?
Sure, yeah. So I started off my professional career right here in Salisbury. I worked for Wycomico County Rec and Parks for 11 years in the recreation field. So just always really enjoyed kind of recreation and play, whether it's adult kickball leagues or summer camps. I was always really big into that. So about 11 years into my career, around 2016, I did an escape room for the first time. And I was up in D.C. with some of my good friends, my buddy Danny, you know him. So we're up there. And they were just the time when this adult recreation social programming had just come to the forefront, when people were playing kickball, cornholes back in it, and escape room became this thing that no one really knew what it was. So we're like, hey, let's go ahead and try that. I loved it, fell in love with it. I was like, man, this is awesome. Why don't we have one in Salisbury? Yeah. So, we had a couple beers, we just chatted about it. I said, you know what, I'm going to open one in Salisbury. I've always been an entrepreneur, always thought it was a cool idea, and said, like, let's go for it. And that was, the summer of 2015 when we opened our very first room. So, here we are now.
Talking about acting on something. I mean, that's amazing. Guy gets an idea and he just acts on it. I like that. But so look, for the people who aren't familiar with what an escape room is, why don't you tell them now?
Yeah, so an escape room, it's basically an adult game. If you think of the board game Clue, where you have to find a whodunit, but instead of just a whodunit, it's you have to solve all these riddles, all these clues, all these puzzles to be able to get out. So you're trapped in this room. Ours is a 60-minute escape room, and you get locked in there with a group of people, and you have to get out. No, guys, it's not Saw. No one dies. You can leave someone behind if you want to. But yeah, you get this hour to solve all these different riddles. We have different themes with our room, so I'll go over that in a minute, where you have to solve riddles or clues based off of that theme, and ultimately it's this storyline, and you're going to try to find the final clue, which has a key to get out. So our room does that.
So how do you come up with your concepts and your ideas for your escape room?
Well, I mean, we're above the brick room, so that helps with some of the decision making there. But really, it's I draw inspiration from a lot of different places. So like this theme right now is called True Crimes. I'm the host. When I'm the host, I'm McNulty. Shout out to The Wire. So True Crimes or bank robbery or a War of the Worlds, all these different types of themes. It's usually just, if a new movie came out or just some inspiration or a conversation I had, or just something I think would be a really fun adventure for people to go through. So, people love detective shows and that type and want to be that detective. So that's what this theme is being the detective. Maybe they want to be a bank robber, maybe they want to be an international explorer, that type of stuff.
What's the craziest theme you've ever seen? Craziest escape room.
Well, the craziest escape room that we have done is we did our second one was called the Zombie Apocalypse, where I was dressed up as a zombie chained to the wall, and you had to get out, but my chain grew every 5 minutes, got longer, and if I touched you, you got eaten or died. So then you got kicked out of the room. That was a pretty crazy thing. We're not going back to that room.
Yeah.
But some other ones, escape rooms, they have trap doors, or they have like live action monsters or people in there, almost like in a haunted room. So you can do some crazy things. Some even start off in the complete dark or chained together. So that's kind of like the 2.0 version. We haven't gone there yet, but maybe sometime soon.
That's awesome. So when you come up with these ideas, does it mean more to you to have somebody be able to solve these riddles or these problems easier, or do you like them when you've really stumbled somebody and they've been in there for a long time? What do you like?
Well, I think my goal is it's a 60-minute room. So everybody wants to get out. I mean, that's the goal. So when you have people who get trapped in the room, they don't really enjoy it as much. They want to get out. But I like those people get out like 59 minutes, 55 seconds. The buzzer's about to go out and they're running through that door. So somebody who's gotten that full hour experience and has had to work through that whole process with their team.
I'm picturing that Jack Bauer.
Yeah, just like, oh my God, time's running out. We give them the countdown. It's really a funny situation. They get really excited when they get out with that buzzer going off. So I think those are my favorite groups. And then you have these wild cards, man. These people who are just studs. They've done a lot of escape rooms.
Yeah.
We have a group called the Comeback Kids. They got it on 32 minutes.
Really?
I mean, so they just crushed our room. I really like our repeat customers. One of the things about our escape room, we change the theme every 4 months because we only are a single room. So we have these people who just like, all right, tell us when you change your theme. We're there the next day. So we have some people who just, for the last couple of years have come to every single room. So, we're closing in on 600 different groups, about 3,000 people who've done this room. So it's a lot of fun.
And so you have competitions, obviously. You talk about the Comeback Kids. And what kind of prizes do you offer the top high scorers, or just the bragging rights type thing?
Yeah, it's a bragging right. Sometimes we actually have one of our biggest things we have is corporate groups come through the room.
Yeah.
So if they have a larger group, they split up. So is this like who can get the fastest time? And sometimes it's like the senior VPs versus like the rookies to see who's actually has a better team dynamic. But what we do is we always offer the winner of the last group the fastest time to get a free escape room to come back the next time. For a $300 value, it's not a bad little perk there. So I think we have a leaderboard of all the people who've been escaped, and then you have the trap, the people who just didn't quite make it. So that's kind of more of the bragging rights and being on that leaderboard.
Is there like a national thing where like you would log them in, like, I don't know, a database so they can compete against people all over the world, like kind of like CrossFit, something like that?
There may be some of the more corporate branches that have a lot of like franchised out. Because ours is a single one-off. There is no kind of standardization with ours, but we do kind of keep this running total. And every now and then we'll post it on social media, like top 10 fastest teams, top 10 fastest of all time. So there's this competition kind of among the people who've done my room, but not necessarily like nationally.
That's cool. So you talked about 60 minutes being the limit. Have you ever allowed somebody to just go with no limit?
We have, if we don't have anybody backed up afterwards, we'll let some people kind of go a little bit longer. We do have this bonus 5 minutes. If you're really close, we'll throw you up that extra 5 minutes. If you're nowhere close, we're not going to waste time. But every now and then, some people, if we have a slower day and people want to finish, we'll let people go.
Yeah.
But, at 2 hours, we're going to let's go. Or they're in there by themselves. I'm moving on. But and some people really appreciate that. They may even like tip out our hosts. I've got a couple people who run the room with me, so they appreciate when we can help them out. That's their goal.
Is that the longest time somebody's been there? 2 hours? Or
2 hours is about our max. So we're telling people.
And the only reason I'm asking is because I've never done this before, and I'm planning on trying to come back and do this. Andy is going to give me a little synopsis, a little tour about what this thing involves. I think when I come back, I'm going to head down to the brick room first for a cup of whiskey or a glass of whiskey, and then I'll come back up and we'll try to do that at that point. But Andy, anyhow, do you mind taking me in the room?
Yeah, let's go in.
All right, let's go. We're gonna go in. Andy's gonna show me what's going on, and I'm gonna learn how to do this thing.
All right.
We'll see it in a little bit. All right, Andy, you got me in the room. Now, where do we start? Where do we begin here?
All right, so it's Escape Room 101. There's 3 things that you need to do when you get into an escape room. First, you got to look around. See what's on the wall. See what everything is out and about. So in this room right here, you've got a whole bunch of different criminals sitting on this wall. That's going to be important. You've got these case files that say serial killer on them. You've got a big fingerprint back here. You've got a map over here. And then you see all these different trunks. So you're going to have to find all the different trunks. So then the second part is look at where the clues are. See what is locked up. See what type of locks you have. We have several different types of locks: letter locks, number locks, key locks, directional locks. So that's a really important piece of that. And then finally, if I give it to you for free, take it. Open up every drawer that you can that's not locked up. Look in every book, look in every trunk, anything that is free. Take that information, because what that'll do is there's probably going to be things hidden in each one of those locations that are going to give you things. So for example, you may open up something and find this black light, and then this black light you may have to go over and see something that's outlined on the picture frame. So that's where you want to start, and that's how you want to get going.
So you're not just going to give me a clue to start. I got to find the first clue.
Yeah, I give you a little bit of a synopsis overview of what you want to do in the room, but really it's just kind of get in there and start moving. Really, that's the important part of this, because it is a team sport. It's not an individualized thing.
Yeah.
So that dynamic of where people choose to start and how they want to go is a really important part to the escape room, because there are tricks and there's traps where people go into the room. If you're going too fast and start solving things and you don't know what's in the room, you're actually going to be worse off.
Yeah.
Also, there's a little bit of technique to divide and conquer. If you have a group of 8 and everybody's going to the same clue by clue, you're never going to have enough.
That's true.
So it's how do you divide and conquer? How do you communicate effectively? It's a really interesting social experiment. It's kind of mean at times, but it's a lot of fun.
It makes sense. A good team building exercise.
Very good team building exercise. We always recommend it to a lot of the corporate partners if they want to just get off site and just see what that dynamic is between their supervisors or just their co-workers. We invite them here to come take the shot at the escape room.
So I have to ask you, so being in commercial real estate, my whole career is about speculation. You know, we're always speculating. I always want to know what the future is going to bring. Where do you see escape rooms going from here?
Right, so there's a couple interesting things. So some of it has already turned virtual. Some people have gone to the VR and started doing escape rooms in the virtual world. I've always really enjoyed the actual physical touch of it. So we're there. You start seeing some more combination style. I think you've seen some other spin-offs on just adult entertainment anyway. So now you have like these rage rooms and you have these axe throwing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anything that is going to be, I think the evolution is going to be this leisure or active, interactive leisure activity. So a little bit less sporty and a little bit more just this this activity that people can engage in and have fun with friends or co-workers. Escape rooms, I think that. And where we are, they're still kind of new. I'm still getting a lot of new people who've never done rooms before. So I think we still got a few years left in this cycle. But there could be this combination where people start getting a little bit more advanced. Some of the rooms have 3 or 4 rooms, trap doors. So you could evolve it that way. With now that you have the modern technology, you may even see people integrating like a hybrid where you have some people in a different location who are working with you via like a Zoom or something.
So that's what I was going to ask you. You talk about virtual. Are we talking about like a James Bond GoldenEye Nintendo 64 virtual reality, a Minecraft reality, or more of this is a Zoom call and we've got to figure out how to get out of actually this on video?
Yeah, I think what will happen is you know, with the VR where people would put it on the glasses, I think you're really going to put on like the goggles or something and you're going to hop in and you're going to be in a virtual world and then anybody else who's plugged into the same game. So you could literally be playing with people across the world going into your same room together, and then you'll solve stuff through like, you know, voice commands and stuff like that and be working. So it could be an interesting evolution to the
That's
process.
awesome. Well, look. So we're not here virtually today. We're actually here, and where we are is downtown Salisbury. I have to ask you, these type of concepts I know do well in the big cities. You know, that's what the big cities are built for, stuff like this. Obviously, Salisbury is evolving. Our city is still kind of a tertiary market. How are you doing in this market right now? I'd love for our audience to know that because they might want to come to downtown Salisbury and know how their business might perform.
Yeah, I think you've got to know your audience. You've got to also know your demographics. I mean, we are a tertiary market. We're a little bit smaller, so most escape rooms are based off of foot traffic. You're going to have that amount of foot traffic. Big cities, even coastal areas like Ocean City. So we have limited hours on the weekends, and we do it by appointment only. So that helps with us not having someone just sit here hoping someone shows up. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like 12 to 9, and then if a commercial group or somebody wants to do something during the week or during the day, we can book that out. Yeah. But you know, it's not my full-time job, but I'm okay with the income. I'm even looking at even expanding if the opportunities present itself. So it's doing well enough.
Well, look, man, I really appreciate your time here today. If there's anything else that...
Whoa, you're trying to get out of here already? We're in the escape room, man. You got an hour. You got all these things you got to unlock. Like, you don't get to leave just yet. I mean, that door's locked. You got to get out. You got to find that key.
Dude, I got things to do today.
Well,
look,
I think the key's in here.
Look. Here's the deal. We are on the trade show.
All right.
I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to make a trade with you. I've got one of my new Trader Real Estate Entertainment old school college hats, the tree hats.
All right.
How about I trade you that for the code to the box?
All right, let me see. All right, 325. Pop
325? Let's see if I know how to do this. You know, us realtors aren't very good with lock boxes.
Pop it out the out.
Oh, aha, yeah. I knew those hats were worth something. I got the key from Andy. But look, Andy, like I was saying, before we wrap things up today, if there's anything else you want to tell our audience, now's your time to do so.
Only things I'd say is, look, we've got a lot of rooms open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Great for birthday parties, great for commercial groups. It's just a great time with your friends if you're looking for something to do one evening or sometime on the weekend. If it's your first time ever doing it, it's just as much fun as if it's your 5th time doing it because we have a lot of excitement, a lot of new clues. We switch everything up every single time. So hope to see you out here sometime soon. Also, if you're watching this, escape room promo code Trade Show is going to be a promo code. It'll get you $5 off for the next 30 days. So if you type in Trade Show as a promo code, you're going to get out all capitalized Trade Show, $5 off your next escape room.
Remember that. And speaking of the trade show, if there's anybody out there who wants to trade an idea, a property, or just good conversation, give me a call, 443-614-4297. And as always, we'll see you next time right here only on the Trade Show. Peace.